count down, count up. I think we're
I mean,
on it.
we're
live.
basically live.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have
we're
to
Hey,
live.
YouTube.
Hey,
Hey.
Ooh, it's
hey.
showing up. I can see it.
And
I can't see it yet. Wow. We've
we
got
have
different
some
delays.
Australia has like
already-
It's because they're in
all the rest of
Australia.
the
They can
world.
see it first.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it connects. I see a big black screen with Kim on it, so that doesn't.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Oh,
It's all
there we go.
showing. Yeah.
Are
Wow.
we seeing everyone, or are we just seeing?
Oh my
the
God, we're
black screen?
live.
It
Oh
took
my
Kim
gosh.
literally 10 seconds before she dropped a swear word.
I mean,
Is that why we've got the delay?
On broadcast TV across the world.
I would love
listen,
to.
I did my diligence. I asked first if it was okay. Once I'm told it's okay, then the part of my brain that filters just turns off.
I think you're going to get Jesse's YouTube account banned.
Okay.
No. No.
No.
We are officially live.
Oh,
It's
it's really, it's too confusing to be looking at the YouTube while we're doing
Yeah, it
this.
is. It's
So
really
I'm just gonna,
confusing. I was
That's
going
why we
Yeah.
got Jesse.
yeah.
Come on.
Poor Jessie. She's gonna earn her keep today.
I feel like I am, and but it's working, and I've just stopped our grid from like switching around, so it should be fine. We should be able to kick off. We're just gonna make sure. Yeah, we've already got 95 people signed on.
Ooh.
We've got viewers.
101.
This
Hey.
baby off.
Woo!
Hey, y'all.
So, welcome everyone to the Great HR Debate. I'm Jessie Schofer, or as they say in formal debates, Madam Speaker, which is what everyone shall be calling me today. And I get to tell everyone when they can and can't talk, which is wonderful. And I set the rules, so everyone just has to basically do what I say, and I love it. It's the only time in the world probably that I will have everyone doing what I say. So I'm quite excited for this. We've got 6 professionals here today, 6 experts who are going to be debating each other, and we're going to debate on the topic of pay for performance. So we've got the proposition for pay for performance, and we have the opposition against pay for performance. This is going to get me going with the tongue twisting of pay for performance. And so we're going to have obviously 3 versus 3. We're going to rotate through. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And before I jump into all of that, we're going to do a couple of things like housekeeping. If you would like to, we're going to share in the chat our LinkedIn, so you can connect with us if you would like to. If I can even find the chat on YouTube is the question. Why can I not find the chat on? That's very confusing. Does anyone else see the chat and want to add it? Because I can't find the chat on my screen, which isn't good because that means I can't do the poll. That's one thing that isn't good. I just need to check that on my side that we'll be able to do the poll.
I'm going to put my LinkedIn
Technical
in
difficulties here.
our
Technical
chat.
difficulties.
And see if that pushes through to...
Does anyone else have the chat on their side?
We're testing on the fly. I can't see it on YouTube.
There should be a chat on YouTube. Usually there is. Can anyone else chat on YouTube? Usually there's a
No.
poll and everything. Don't know what happened there.
So this is a group of HR people, not.
I just got a message from a viewer that the chat on YouTube has been disabled.
Oh shit.
Oh,
The-
how is that possible? I didn't disable it. It's usually just automatic, which means we can't do polls.
It's been disabled. The chat on YouTube's been disabled. We are so sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Well, that's not good.
Can it
How
be
do we get
enabled?
people voting? How do people vote? YouTube, I don't understand why you would not have, this has never happened. It
Well, we're
always
going to
is
power
not.
on. We're going to power
Yeah,
on.
let's
we can
power
power
on.
on.
Let's
We're
power
going to
on.
power
show
on.
can go
Okay,
on.
guys, we had technical difficulties. We're very sorry. We don't know how we're going to get you voting on this, but we're going to have to keep going. You can, if people, no, they can't chat. This is very weird. Okay, we're just going to kick off. So, first of all, we can't share anything in the chat, so we're going to skip that part. But what we're going to do is firstly say thank you to our key sponsors for today. Firstly, we have Pave. Companies of all sizes trust Pave as their leading AI compensation platform with real-time data and end-to-end workflows covering everything from job pricing and pay ranges to merit cycles and total rewards. Our second sponsor for this wonderful event is Pando, which is a performance review platform, and they believe how we do them is broken. Pando gives managers real-time context and proven frameworks to develop their teams continuously. And Shapes, They're our third sponsor. They get rid of your HR admin. They're an AI native people management platform, transforming what they call people into people designers and enable them to surface insights before anyone asks and build automatic workflows at scale. So now we've got all of that out of the way, we get to the fun bit. And I would have been dropping a poll right now, but I don't know how we're going to do this poll. So I'll think about that when everyone gets fighting. So how it's going to go is I'm going to introduce our wonderful fighters now. We have two teams, as I mentioned. One is Matt's team, who's fighting for pay for performance, and he is calling in from Australia very, very early, I think 5 a.m. So thank you, Matt, for giving us your all and dedication to your position and to fight for this. Alongside Matt, we have experts Mark Frayne and Jessica Swain, three people who believe in pay for performance. I want to see what they say to this because I'm very, very keen myself on their position. And in the other side, we have Kim. She's on the against team. She's got two other experts with her, Kim Rohrer and James Seaturn, who I think even wrote a book on this topic. So we definitely have the right people in this room. And these three believe that pay for performance is broken, outdated, and potentially maybe doing more harm than good. So we're going to hear their sides very, 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 very soon. How it's going to work is we have adapted Real Debate rules. We're going to have each speaker getting 6 minutes each. When the time is up, they will be cut off. They will have a 30-second timer to let them know that they've got 30 seconds left. And then we will alternate for to against, back and forth till we've gone through all the speakers and their positions. And at the end, the captains will recap with their closing statements to convince you who truly is the winner. And then, of course, you vote. We will work this out very soon, how we do this. And then we crown the winner. So round one, Matt, the floor is yours. You have 6 minutes, and I'm going to set my timer right now so that you can kick off. Go for it.
Woo! All right, I better get cracking. So thank you for the intro. Look, I'm going to do something a little unusual for somebody arguing for pay for performance, and I'm actually going to start by telling you where it's broken. So I've spent plenty of time building compensation practices at startups and high growth tech companies. I've built pay bands, I've calibrated performance reviews, and I've sat in rooms where managers are fighting over ratings, and I've seen how badly things can go. Traditional merit-based pay for performance, the kind where a manager rates you on a scale, HR maybe runs a calibration or there isn't one, and you get a 3% bump or a 5% bump based on that rating, is obviously deeply flawed. It's prone to recency bias. It rewards the people who are most visible rather than necessarily the most impactful. And it can often amplify gender and ethnicity pay gaps through subjective assessments that feel objective because there's a number attached to them. I've personally seen calibration sessions where the loudest in the room wins the biggest increases for their team, not because their people were better, but because they advocated harder. Now, that's obviously not what real pay for performance is. It's probably more akin to pay for proximity. But here's where we part ways on this debate. Because the opposition, these guys, are going to make an argument that relies on you believing that merit-based pay is pay for performance, all of it. And it isn't, not even close. Pay for performance is a spectrum, and the version that they're going to attack is one narrow, admittedly messy slice of it. What about equity that vests based on company or tenure? That's pay for performance. What about profit sharing tied to team or business outcomes? Pay for performance. Sales compensation, where targets are defined up front and payouts are formulaic, pay for performance. Spot bonuses for exceptional project delivery, pay for performance. Even the decision to promote someone into a higher band based on a track record of contribution is by definition pay for performance. So when the opposition says that pay for performance doesn't work, what they need you to believe is that none of these mechanisms work, not just the broken one, all of them. And that's a very different argument. So let's look at the positive case for pay for performance. The first reality is the talent market. We all know we operate in a competitive economy. If any company in your market, any one of them, is rewarding performance through equity, through bonuses, through accelerated career progression, through above market offers to their best people, then you are competing with that, whether you like it or not. You are absolutely free to pay everyone the same. No one is stopping you, but the talent market doesn't care about your compensation philosophy. It cares about what your best people can get elsewhere. And if the answer is more because someone else recognizes their contribution, then they will eventually leave. Not all of them, not immediately, but the ones that you can least afford to lose often have the most options. The second point I want to get to is the sorting effect. And this matters more than most people think. Pay for performance doesn't just motivate the people you already have, although it can. More importantly, it signals. It tells high performers that this is an organization that will recognize what they bring, and it tells lower performers that contribution matters here. Over time, that sorting is how you build organizational capability. Companies that ignore performance in pay don't just fail to motivate, they get adverse selection. The best people leave and the most comfortable people stay. And that's not how you build anything worth building. There's one more point I want to get to before I hand over because I think it's underrated. Pay for performance forces you to define what good looks like. It forces the conversation for the company. What does high performance actually mean in this role? What does it look like? How do we know when we see it? Companies that avoid pay for performance often do so because they can't answer those questions or won't. And I'd argue that it's not a principal position, it's avoidance. Here's the thing that should concern you. Even in a flat pay structure, managers are still making performance judgments every single day. They're deciding who gets the interesting project, who gets face time with leadership, who gets developed, and who gets managed out. Those are all performance-based decisions. They're just invisible, unstructured, and uncontestable. Pay for performance doesn't create performance evaluation. It just makes it visible. It makes it something you can look at and challenge and improve. Now, without it, bias still exists. You've just removed the mechanism that makes it possible to actually spot. So let me bring this back to the opposition. If you reject pay for performance, you're not just rejecting the broken version, the one we've already agreed is flawed. You're rejecting equity tied to contribution, profit sharing, sales compensation, promotion-based pay progression, market competitive offers that recognize what your best people are worth. The alternative isn't a neutral, fair system. It's a system that still has performance differences, every organization does, but it's chosen to pretend they don't exist, and the cost of that pretending is real. Your highest performers will leave for organizations that recognize them through any of these mechanisms, and the people who are most comfortable in a flat structure, they tend to be the ones with the least to prove, which is exactly what this bunch of hippies over here would love. The opposition doesn't just have to argue that merit-based pay is broken. We've already given them that. They have to argue that none of these approaches, equity, profit sharing, team incentives, competitive offers, none of them belong in an effective organization. And I don't believe that they can make that case.